I would like to invite Ms. Valentina to offer her presentation, and also from our side, from the side of the organizers, we would like to express our gratitude for having accepted to be a speaker in this work. So thank you very much, Valentina, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. I will share a presentation in a second. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, very well. Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you for your invitation, and thank you for all participants who are here with us today during the summer break. And I hope you will enjoy this unique opportunity, but also the follow-up trainings that will be organized also in October and November this year in Alicante. So the local perspective of public procurement of innovation. I'm representing some examples from the City of Haarlem. As Anita Port already mentioned, the public procurement is a very powerful tool, and the political commitment is so important, because without the political commitment, it's very difficult to push public procurement as a strategic tool in the public organizations. Before I will start with my presentation, I would love to ask you a question, so to keep also a bit interactive. And the question is, what challenges does your organization experience that could be solved using innovation procurement? And you can use this Slido QR code. So if you could scan this QR code, you can also go to slido.com, and you can fill in the code, and the code is 9931034. And this is the OPA question, so you can provide us of your thoughts or experiences and insights. I will stop sharing, so Laura and Diana can share also their Slido results. If you still need QR code, so probably they can also show it again. Yes, thank you so much. So there are already some answers. So what challenge does your organization experience that could be solved using innovation procurement? And the first answer is auditing of the innovation procurement. It seems to be complicated. Monopoly situation of pharma area. And I see also more participants are already typing their answers. So please scan QR code and provide us of your experiences on challenges. And maybe it's also good to say that we will use your challenges and your insights also in the silo. I'm sure we'll also use this information to make it more tailor-made and to see what are possible solutions and how to overcome those challenges. Okay, some others: technology and wind transition, energy transition, climate adaptation, overdue maintenance. Very good. Tender documents for innovation procurement, award criteria, and pre-qualification criteria. Thank you so much. And it's very good also to know that, because I will also provide an example on local sustainable energy market, which probably could be interesting for a person who mentioned this challenge. And also maintenance, also some information on that. Okay, tender documents, very good. Thank you so much. Then I will share my my screen again. Okay. Before I will start with different examples, what I would like to mention is the political commitment is very, very important. And you, as a participants, you're representing your organization, and maybe it's also good to mention a very good reason that probably could convince after this training session to convince your politicians, your directors, or other colleague managers in your organization. Why should they use innovation, public procurement of innovation as a strategic tool? And why they should use it as a tool at all, in general? It's because every public organization in Europe has a lot of ambitions. Just let's mention a few. Climate adaptation. The last years, we saw a lot of disasters in different EU countries because of the climate change. So that the cities, regions, and other public authorities are struggling with how to do the climate adaptations, climate adaptation. Another challenge, and where the public authorities are dealing with. For example, transition to circular economy or energy transition. For example, to make sustainability, the processes and impact more sustainable for their organizations and for the area they are living. So, as I said, there are adapting EU Green Goals and so on and so on and so on, create new jobs, housing, you name it. And something that could help you to achieve is public procurement of innovation. And I hope after our training today, you will be inspired enough to come and to tell this very, very good reason to your politicians, to your colleague managers, and to other directors in your organization. So let's get started. The first example is on local sustainable energy market. And when the war in Ukraine was started, but it's still there is a urgent need to produce own energy, and preferable sustainable energy, of course. And there are a lot of issues. I will not tell everything about the issues, but some of them is, even if you think you have a contract for green energy, it's almost never 100% sustainable or green energy. Is just a certain percentage. So there is also need for more really green energy. So using public procurement of innovation, we consulted. We had a market consultation, and what we discovered during this conversation, this dialogue with the market, is that there are more possibilities than we ever thought, and it's something very good to be aware of, because as a public authorities, you often think, oh, I know how sit, but in practice, you do not know what kind of innovations and possibilities are already on the market. So when it comes to produce sustainable energy, and not to buy it in Russia anymore or somewhere else far away, you you could think, okay, we could do, for example, huge wind turbine parks, or we can make huge solar panel parks. But the disadvantage of this actually great idea is is that it would take years, and it would take also millions of euros to invest and to make it. While we often need energy, sustainable energy, as soon as possible. So this market consultation opened our eyes, because we thought that it's not only possible to buy energy as a product, but also to buy energy as a service. Okay, I will explain how does it work. So imagine we have some participants. So I will, if I call your name, it's just more like for more interaction, role playing. Now we have Isabel from Portugal, and we have Yasin from Bulgaria. Let's imagine that Isabel is living in the city of Haarlem, and she has a huge house with a big roof. And on this roof, she has a lot of solar panels. But she do not need all this produced energy for her own household. So she has some energy over, and normally it would go back to the to energy provider, and maybe she will get a little bit money for it, but maybe even not. And let's say Yasin from Bulgaria and Christophe from France. Imagine you would live in Haarlem, and you would have small companies in the industrial area, and Christophe would have the heat pump station in his business building, and Yasin would have, let's say, some small wind turbines on his industrial area to produce, let's say, bicycles. Okay, so but while the pumping station and the wind turbine produces sustainable energy, they also do not need all the produced energy for their businesses. Again, if normally nothing would happen, the extra energy they didn't use would flow away back to their energy provider. But now, imagine you have a company who offers local sustainable energy market as a service. It means that we have Isabel with her solar panels, we have Yasin and Christophe also with the sustainable produced energy, and they can be, if they met some criteria, of course, they can be connected to this local sustainable energy market. And this company who is facilitating this local energy market, they redirect through algorithm this energy to places where energy is needed. So in this way, is actually a win-win situation for everyone. Win situation for Isabel, for Christophe and Yasin, because they get a better, fair price for their extra energy. It's also win situation for the municipality, because they use local produced energy, proven local produced energy. It's also win situation for for the company, because the company SME can grow and get bigger. And in terms of feasibility and replicability, it's a very good example, because if you would compare to, as I said in the beginning, investigation in new solar parks and investigation to make wind turbine parks, which is for the long term very good, of course, but it's very expensive. It takes a lot of years to make it. It would cost millions of euros. Compared to it, this local energy market, the costs are around 50,000 euros. If you compare to these millions that would otherwise cost this service, it's really accessible. It's not that expensive. It's quite cheap compared to millions, and it makes also I think it's also a very good incentive, because the producers of the local sustainable energy, they get a fair price for it. So it means the incentive to invest in some local energy production, there is incentive to do that. So from that point of view, I think it's a good example, and also where you see that the companies and citizens can benefit from it, and the whole municipality or even region. And it wouldn't be possible without public procurement and innovation. So another good reason to use it in your organization. So just one other thing I would like to mention is that another issue that was raised after this energy market was set up is also matching. What I mean with that is that the example giving with this Isabel, who has a lot of solar panels on the roof of her house. If there is energy needed during the night, the energy that is produced by solar panels is, of course, during the day. And if you would need energy during the night, it's not matching. So another very, very good thing to be aware of, and also to already as a public authority trying to engage some, or to stimulate some behavior change, is that you are going to use or to adapt your energy consumption behavior to the energy production. So that will be more matching. It would mean for the citizens that they would do the washing machine during the day instead of in the evening when the sun are not shining anymore, or you will use some pumping stations when the wind is blowing. Just example given. And of course, European Commission is investing a lot of money in producing some concepts and some better batteries they could save the sustainable energy. Okay. Another example I would like to share with you is about sustainable road and water works. It's an procurement that and the contract for 4 years, and it's about 20 million euros a year. And of course, as I understand, it's quite a huge procurement, and this is not for only one supplier that he could win the tender, but there are multiple. And we used award criteria in order to stimulate more innovative, more green, more sustainable, more social solutions. And just would like to share a few of them with you. Next to electrical equipment and the local hubs to reduce carbon emissions, and also the innovative noise barriers and self-sufficient charge. One of the companies, they developed an app for reuse of materials. So let's say we have Dana and we have Christoph, who are both suppliers, just imagine, okay? And Dana's company has a lot of sand over during the work in progress. So normally this sand she would not need anymore, would become a waste, and Dana probably had to transport it to the place where this waste she could throw away, and it would mean the transportation costs, carbon emission, of course, and also in the Netherlands, by if you have to throw away a huge amount of waste, you have to pay for it. So it would mean a lot of costs. Just imagine Christoph would also have his company in that, and he would need the sand. So using this app for reuse of materials, he would say, oh, okay, some Dana has sand. She do not need it anymore, but I need sand for my work. So he would say, okay, Dana, I would like to take it all from you. So in this case, almost no transportation because it's within the city, within the same project. And normally, if Christoph would like to buy new sand, he would also need to transport it to this place, to the location. It would also mean buy sand, the costs, transportation again, carbon emission again. But now it don't need anymore because it's a good match, and it save Dana and both it save costs and it save carbon emission, reduce carbon emission, saved also transportation costs. Of course, to be honest, I must also say something about disadvantage. Otherwise, it's not all information. Is of course if you use new sand, the technical specifications are a bit different than from the new sand compared to the used sand. So it would mean that Christoph should adapt some technical procedures in order to proceed this sand, in order to make it possible, rather than because the technical specifications of new and old of used sand are could be a bit different, or are a bit different. So, but even then, it is a circular approach. And of course, the companies who use reused materials have to adapt some procedures, but still it's a very good, it's cost saving, it's very circular, and it's also good for environment. Okay, some lessons learned. Involve market parties as soon as possible, capacity building of procurers, and also, as we all know, procurers have a lot of workload. It's also good for organization to invest in their procurers. Those are where the lessons learned. Another example is dismantling instead of demolishing, and it's about an former office building, and in that time, unfortunately, they used a lot of asbest. This one is dating from 1967, but unfortunately, then the years ago, people didn't know, we didn't know that the asbestos was so bad for health of people, and they use them everywhere. So as you understand, that the dismantling was a very, very important, especially also for this building, because there was also some harmless materials in it. So we again, we used award criteria in order to find as circular dismantler supplier as possible. And the one who won this tender, he lifted the containers to the floors in order to take all the removed materials very carefully, and there are some parts reused, that they removed some parts that could be reused, like, for example, doors, windows, kitchens, some sanitary kitchen installations, sanitary installations. And then saying that, I would like also to mention that nowadays for the new buildings, they use material of passports, and the building, if you don't need a building anymore, you can dismantle it much easier than the older ones, and you can reuse materials. You know exactly what kind of materials and with which kind of specification were used in this building or bridge or other infrastructure object, and you can reuse it. So I show you this Lego house, because to better understand this concept, more modular buildings, more buildings with the material passports that you can reuse, have something common with this Lego house. You know, in Lego you have different parts, and you can, if you would like to build something new from Lego, you just take it, and dismantle it into
Sorry,
different.
Valentina,
Yes.
we are really running out of time.
Yes.
If you could speed up,
Yes.
that will be very
Yes,
valuable.
yes, yes.
Thank you so
Yes,
much. I'm
yes,
sorry to
yes.
interrupt you. Yeah.
No worries. Thank you so much for remembering me. So just wanted to say how does it work, and this innovative concept is also very good for environment and very innovative. We also did free energy scan for the owners of the buildings and directors of the small and medium enterprises and businesses in industrial area, and the energy coach went to those buildings and this coach provide advice on how to reduce energy consumption in the building. And it was very surprising for us that even with a small, very long-hanging fruit adjustments, the savings of 20% or even sometimes more were realistic. Just a short Slido moment. If you could scan Slido again, and if you, Laura, Diana, could please share your screen. And so you can, yes, thank you very much. So the question is, what best practices could you implement in your own organization? Is it innovative, sustainable local energy market, app for reuse of materials, local hub, free energy scan? Just vote for your favorite example. So just scan QR code or go to slido.com and type the code 9931034. So I see that dismantling instead of demolishing an innovative local energy market and dismantling instead of demolishing on shared number one and the app for reuse of materials and local hub for materials is on the shared second place. So I really hope you are inspired also to replicate those kind of examples in your organization. And also very important to mention that that if you have this replicated successfully, or you just inspired about it, please talk with your politicians, with your collect directors, with your with other managers, to convince them. That could also help you to convince them to use public procurement of innovation as a strategic tool. Yes, so thank you so much for voting for your favorites. Okay, now this is it for me. If you have any questions, just let Laura or Diana know, and I can also answer it afterwards. So please feel free to do that. It was a pleasure to work to you with you. I'm sorry for running out the time, Laura.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you very much for your presentation and for sharing some thoughts with us regarding that municipalities and decision makers should not take anything for granted and think that they all know what it's on the market, because innovation procurement should be considered as a tool that can solve some of the challenges that different organizations may have in different areas. So, and that was shown by different cases in the Haarlem municipality of how this tool can be used to solve different problems of the cities. So are there any questions from the audience? No, maybe you could reflect a little bit, Valentina, on what was behind the scenes and why did the municipality decided to use this innovation procurement instrument? Were they experienced in the past? There was a policy at municipal level? How was this included in the political agenda? If you could talk us a little bit about that. Yeah.
Yes, we have a lot of ambitions as a municipality, climate adaptation, sustainability, energy transition, social inclusion, and so on. And luckily, our politicians see and are very committed to do it, and they see that the public procurement of innovation is a vehicle. This is the tool how to achieve it. They also, what also very helpful is to sign letters of commitment on the political level. We have also common strategy with Metropolis region of Amsterdam and other metropole area cities and towns around Amsterdam. So we're also doing a lot together. It helps also a lot. And we have also procurement strategy. And I highly recommend also the participants to take a look at it, and also to see how they could also ensure the political commitment in their organizations, because this is really important. Without it, it's very difficult to push it forward.
Okay, so thank you very much, Valentina. And we'll now give the floor to our next speaker, who is Tim van der Laar, Project Manager of the City of Amsterdam, who will explain also how this was part of the agenda of the municipality with a practical example about an innovation partnership project to renew the quay wall. So Tim, the floor is yours, and thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you for your introduction, Lara. I will start the presentation. Hello, everyone. As Lara said, I'm Tim van der Laar. I work for the City of Amsterdam as project manager, and I will tell you something about the project I did from 2018, the Innovation Partnership for quay wall renewal. I will start with a problem definition, and I will then explain what an innovation partnership is. And I'll share some lessons learned with you. And the last 10 minutes I will reserve for questions. So to start with the problem definition, I think most of you have once in their life visited Amsterdam. Some of you might visited more than just once. And if you visited the world famous canal belt in the most recent years, you might have seen pictures like the one on the screen. And what you see here, it's actually a safety measure. We call it safety construction. Because the quay walls and the bridges in Amsterdam, they are collapsing, and this is safety measure to prevent them from collapsing. Also, we did have issues with potholes. Yeah, this is of course also very dangerous. And we even had two quay walls which totally collapsed. And you might have seen it on the news. It was a big problem in the city. So how is it possible that a city like Amsterdam, this happens? It really shocked the people in the city, and it was of course in the news all over the world. I think the former alderman of the city, Sharon Dijksma, she's now the mayor of Utrecht. I think she quoted it really nice. So what she said is the maintenance is often neglected. It's not only in Amsterdam, it's in many cities worldwide. And it's not very sexy. So most politicians, they prefer to invest in big projects, for example, a new metro line or a new bridge. And the maintenance is often cut back in budgets. So over decades, the budgets were too strict, and far less maintenance was done than was needed. So there's now really overdue of maintenance, and this is the problem. To tell you a little bit more about quay walls in Amsterdam, as you might know, the city of Amsterdam is a city of water, bridges, and canals, and therefore we have a very large amount of quay walls in the city. 600 kilometers, of which 200 kilometers are owned by the city. They have a lifetime of 100 years on average. So this means that every year 2 kilometers needs to be renewed. And you can see in this figure that for many years we did renew about 500 meters. So there was really too few done. So now we have to get back to the regular level. But in the next years we really need to renew 4 to 6 kilometers. So a lot more than average. And the budget that is needed is therefore 60 million per year. So it's really big project for the city. So how did these problems with the cables arise? Like I said, we have very big acreage, and these cables are all very old. So they were built centuries ago, and they were really designed for other uses. So as you can see on the picture, they were really made for horse and carriage. But nowadays, they are heavily used by cars, by trucks, even construction cranes are sometimes put on the cables. So that causes, of course, a very quick deterioration. Here in the picture, you can see the traditional way of renewing a cable. This is how it was done for decades. And you can see there are some big challenges. As you know, we have a lot of houseboats in Amsterdam, and these houseboats are always laying along the quay. And in these houseboats, really, people of the city, they live there. And during these renewal projects, these people had to move to another place in the city for sometimes a year. And this has really a big impact on their lives. So this was really a challenge to cope for these people. Also, the accessibility over land and water is really difficult, as you can see. So mostly only a small passage is possible for cyclists and pedestrians, but not for cars. So it's also really causing a big challenge in the to get to the places all over the city. The final challenge is the proximity of the canal houses. As you might know, these canal houses are very popular, very expensive. And when you work so closely to these canal houses, you really have to make sure that they don't sag. So you have to start monitoring already about 4 years before you start working there. So this really needs a lot of preparation time, and this is also a challenge for the contractor to make sure everything is ensured well. So these were big challenges. And when we started the program, we concluded that the current approach is unsatisfactory. So this leads to extensive nuisance and inaccessibility for inhabitants and visitors. And the preparation and realization that really took too long, up to 7 years time sometimes. So really another approach was necessary. Together with the market parties, we formulated our ambitions, project ambitions. So the first one was that we wanted to help the nuisance and make the realization faster, less impact, to create less impact. Also, we looked at future value. So this is mainly focused on sustainability, circularity, and also emission-free construction. Very important for us that it's scalable, so not just one pilot project, but applicable in different contexts now and in the future. And also, we decided that we would fix the budget, so we took the same price as traditional techniques. I will now explain to you what an innovation partnership is, because I think most of you don't have any experience with it yet. So I will start from the beginning and then show you how we used it here at this project. So the innovation partnership, it was introduced by the EU in 2016, and the goal was to bridge the valley of debt. So this is what we mean to the valley of debt is the financing gap often found in innovation funding. And it comes from scientific theories that say that innovation very often stops after the pilot phase. So very often the people, the contractor and client are both very happy with the result of the pilot, but it's for the contractor very hard to scale up because of the procurement rules we had. And so the innovation partnership really tries to solve this through sharing the development costs with contractors and the companies, and the long-term cooperation to develop innovative goods or services. And the innovation partnership combines the pre-commercial phase, PCP, which already existed, with the commercial phase of procurement in an innovative procurement procedure. This is PPI, which was also already an existing tender strategy. So this, you see it below on the picture. This is the new way in which the innovation partnership combines PCP and PPI. Amsterdam chose to do an innovation partnership on the quay walls, and so why did we do this? Well, we decided that these quay walls, they are very, very suitable for innovation partnership, and this is because it's quite repetitive work. Like most of the quay walls are more or less the same. There are some differences, but it's easy replicated. Also, we had no clear vision of our favorite solution, so we really had an open question to the market. Also, there were no existing products in the market yet that fulfill our ambition, and our intention was really to upscale the solution after the pilot. So we had the skill already, so the innovation partnership suited very well. I will now go through the process and planning we did. Good for you to know is that an innovation partnership always consists of 3 phases. The first phase is the procurement or the tender phase. Then phase 2 is the R&D phase, and the third phase is the commercial phase. Now we'll go through them step by step. So to start with the tender phase, we had 16 parties, market parties, who subscribed to this project and who wanted to join, which was really a big amount for us, and we were quite surprised by that. It was also a sign that the market was really eager to innovate with us, and also eager to start a long-term cooperation. So that was a good start of the project. 16 parties is too much to go through the tender phase. So we started with a selection phase, and there we looked at a couple of knockout suitability requirements. For example, experience with design and engineering of quay walls, experience with the construction of quay walls, working in a metropolitan context. And we looked at one selection criterion, their innovative capacity. Now, after we did these selections, we had 6 market parties now who could join the tender phase. And we had some dialogue rounds to talk with these parties about their proposed innovations. And these dialogue rounds helped market parties to better fit their solutions to our demands. In the end of this tender phase, we looked at 5 award criteria. So we had scalability, impact on the environment, future value, and collaboration, which is also a very important thing. when you start such an innovation partnership. And like I said before, we used a fixed price with a maximum budget of 18,000 euros per meter cable that we renew. Also good to know that we used the technology readiness levels, TRL, to help the market parties. And they were TRL levels. They were invented by NASA, and now they are commonly used to identify the level of innovation development. So you start at TRL level 1 with just a simple idea. Do some basic research, and later on you go to the prototypes, pilot, and finally then the commercial application. So this really fits with how we set up our innovation partnership phases. So like I said, from the 6 participating market parties, we chose 3 winners. Why 3? Well, in innovation projects, it's quite often that one of the market parties doesn't, the solution doesn't succeed. So during the R&D phase, one of the parties can be stopped because of the innovation turns out not to work like they hoped for. So then you have something to fall back on. And also we have a very big scope. We have many cables to be renewed. So it's better to share the work between these 3. And they all also had very different innovations. So we could really choose which innovation would work best on which location. Okay, then with these 3 parties, we started the research and development phase, the R&D phase. And what was nice, the competition had already ended. So we had the real competition before already. So this meant we could really open and transparent collaborate with the clients and the contractors and the stakeholders. So this is really a nice way of collaborating. And also we started prototype and validation, which meant that all requirements should be validated. And after this prototype validation, we started with the pilot projects, and 1 project for each partner. And this was the first validation of the concept in real environment. So this was really real life cable in the city center. I will show you now a short video of the first pilot which was realized is at Singel and was done by G-Kracht. So this is the site, the Singel, the canal right in the middle of the canal belt. And this is where they brought their first innovation at the site. I will explain you how this technique works. So they had drilling poles with a length of 15 to 24 meters. And they had a cutting bit made out of diamonds, and they're so strong, this cutting bit, that they could go through even the hardest concrete or steel what was found in the old cables, and they were drilling right through these old cables. And what's a really big achievement was that they could maintain the trees at the cable. So this was never done before, and it was really the first time the cable in Amsterdam was renewed with the maintenance of the trees. And you can see it looks like a small train, and it moves itself over the cable. And it's all electric, so it doesn't have any nuisance or vibrations, and which is of course very good for the environment. So the technique, it comes from Japan. It was also already used a lot there, but never in a European context. So this was really the innovative part. And Geeken is a Japanese company who collaborated with two Dutch contractors. At the end, this cable was finished with prefab parts of the really old look, to keep the old look, which is of course necessary in this UNESCO site. So you can see it really remained its authentic style. And all time the streets were always possible, even for cars, but also for bikes and pedestrians. So the people in the area, they were all very happy with this innovation. Okay. Then we now are in the final evaluation of the pilot. So all three pilots have been realized, and all three parties, well, they did very, very well. So the G-Kracht I just showed you that they were more or less the same budget as traditional techniques. Same was for KD22 and Koningsgracht. They even had 20% less cost than average cable renewal. The speed of G-Kracht was really high, so they had worked 50% faster than traditional techniques. KD22 was and Koningsgracht both were slightly slower, but we expect them to speed up in the next projects because this was just the first pilot project. In terms of nuisance, they really did a good job. So G-Kracht, KD22, they both had 90% less nuisance, which was really a big achievement. Koningsgracht 70%. And like I said, all three market parties, they saved a lot of trees on the cables, and this was the first time ever that this was done when renewing a cable. So we were all very satisfied about their achievements, and they all went through to the next phase. So this is the commercial phase, and here we sign a framework agreement with each of the three winning markets who successfully succeeded the R&D phase. And duration is 4 to 8 years. So it's at least 4 years, but when we are still satisfied with their, we can prolong it until 8 years. So yes, this is really a long-term collaboration, and the advantage of a framework agreement for us was that you can really create a learning curve. So every next project gets higher quality, and you can evaluate it together and look, okay, how can we do it better the next time? Also, there are less costs for contracting, both at the client side as for the contractors. Also, there's better collaboration through long-term relationship, where you know that you still have to do a lot of more projects, you will work on it. And also, it's more profitable for market parties. They have better return on investment for the big investments they did. Okay, I will now go on to the third part, which is I would like to share some lessons learned. And the first lesson is cost comes before profit. This is really something which is always the case when you are doing an innovation project or an innovation partnership, because it definitely has profits, but the costs at the start are a lot higher than the benefit. And what we did, we gave every combination a development fee, 100,000 euro. Also, we had this framework agreement with 4 to 8 years work, estimated value of 60 million per combination. And also nice for the market parties, they really appreciated this, that they own 100% of the intellectual property, and therefore they can upscale it to other parts of Europe and to commercialize their solutions. What happened? The market party stated development costs exceeded their budget and time by far. Their development costs, they said, were 1.4 million on average. So we raised the development fee from 100,000 to 600,000. So this is really something we underestimated, and I think it's fair to give a better development fee. Second lesson I'd like to share with you. Well, you might have seen in the last weeks that the Dutch are great supporters and are giving a lot of their support. But it's also important to find support in projects. And what we did to start, of course, is it's really important to get support from the alderman and the local council. And what was very important, our alderman really created a sense of urgency for the project, and we explained the need for innovation to her and to the local council as well. So there was really important start. Also, we created a supporters group with directors from the most important departments of the city, and also this really helped us getting everyone and helping us. Another lesson I'd like to share, be flexible. Innovation projects ask for another mindset than regular projects. In both teams, from the client as the contractor, there will always arise unexpected circumstances. And for example, the price rise of steel in 2022, which was, and then it's important that you don't focus too much on the correct contract, but be flexible. Always keep the bigger picture in mind and try to solve issues together. And then my final lesson, and then I'll go on through the question. So what I would really like to share with you as other cities in Europe is that this EPS, the Innovation Partnership Method, it can really be used on a wide variety of topics. And we did now 5 innovation partnerships in Amsterdam, and they really are on broad many different topics. And you can see here on the picture, this is an innovation partnership for school buildings, which is now in the R&D phase. And the cool thing is that the main structure of every school is the same, but they really are innovative, that they can they implemented many sustainability measures here, and they can really try to upscale this to other school building. But we also did an innovation partnership for smart garbage collection, and well, I'm now working on a new project for making future-proof sports pitches. I hope you will go home and start thinking, hey, which topic would be great in my city for an innovation partnership. Most important thing is it should be some kind of repetitive work and a big scope, and also something which is long term. So it shouldn't be just one project, but really some repetitive work. You can see here the sports pitches, we have exactly the same setup with the same faces. We really like this way of working here in Amsterdam. So that was my presentation. I'll around if there are any questions.
All right, so thank you so much, Tim, for bringing this instrument to the table, which is far underused. It's a very good practical example of how innovation partnership can support and can help to, again, meet one of the pressing challenges of the City of Amsterdam, precisely where in a very complicated area too. I don't know if there are any questions from the audience. No, if not, I would launch the same questions that as for Valentina. What was behind the scenes? How did you manage to get everyone involved and in supporting the use of innovation partnership? Because you said that you created teams of directors, everyone on reflecting, but that should have been a difficult task. So if you could tell us a little bit more about that aspects.
Yeah, so the starting phase of this project was maybe the biggest challenge, because many colleagues from the City of Amsterdam were struggling with this idea of an innovation partnership. Of course, it was totally new, so we didn't have any references. And for example, the people that go there and that think about the budgets, they really said, okay, hey, but we can't look so far ahead. You ask for budget for the next 10 years, but we only look for until the next 5 years, and we can't guarantee that you have a budget over 10 years. So we really needed our director and also the alderman to help us get everyone in this same vision we had for this innovation partnership. And it's important, if you want something like this, you really need to take some time. And that was the good thing, that especially my director really said, okay, let's just take time just to set it up well. And he really supported me when we had troubles to convince other colleagues with this. And we also had really very nice young project team. So I'm 39 now, and I was the eldest in the team. So this really helped us to think, get another way of thinking. And I really think that helped really a lot to get out of our old structures. And of course, we asked the other colleagues for advice, but the team itself was really young and dynamic.
Okay, so you would say that the preparatory phase is very, very important, and you need to allocate enough time to that and to prepare, I suspect, a very strong business case that can help you in all that discussions that should be held through the different directors and departments together, all the support that you need. Also, important fact that you highlighted, the team, the people. So it's important to build a strong team of motivated people that can go through the different phases and that are very encouraged to get that success. And I think that you have succeeded, because you are now involved in a new innovation partnership project. So this is good to see that the Amsterdam continues with this using this instrument. What better to see it in practice? So
yes, yeah. True, and it really helps, of course, now that I already have one successful example to show. And for example, I've presented to the school directors. Were a bit scared for this innovation partnership for school buildings, but I really convinced them with these solutions we had for the K-walls. So it really helped getting people along for these innovation partnerships.
Okay, so
I see a question from
okay, good.
In chat, I guess. How many companies participated during the procurement procedure? So we started with 16 for the selection phase, and then we went to 6, which really filled in their best offer. And then after this, we had three winners. And Valentina, you had a question as well, but I don't.
There is other question. Have you included noise, speed, and emission requirements in the later procedures?
One more time, sorry.
If you have included noise, speed, and emission requirements in later procedures.
Yes. So we see now that the emission rules from the European Union, they are really strict. So we really should switch to non or electric vehicles on construction sites within a few years. So this was the first example, the first contractor who really invested big in electric equipment. But now many other construction projects follow this example, and we are switching to full electric as much as we can. So this is a nice example that it's possible. And also these noise, we used a lot more now. But this is the second big advantage of electric equipment, that the noise is much less. So this really helps.
Okay. We do have another question. How did you come up with all the criteria for the procurement?
So we did it. Of course, first we thought about it together with the people, directors, and also in our own team. But what made it successful, I guess, is that we had 3 market consultations before we started. So we also really did it together with the market parties, and so we really asked the market parties, hey, what is the thing which you can what would you like to have for the procurement criteria?
Okay. I cannot see any more questions. Yeah.
There's one additional question, team. How many projects were included in the commercial application phase? Basically, how many quay goals works were included in the procurement procedure?
One more time, sorry, I don't understand.
How many projects were included in the commercial application phase?
Yes, okay. We had 2 kilometers of cable renewal per year included. So this was divided by the 3 contractors. So they had 600 or 700 meters per year, which is more or less 4 or 5 projects to do. So this really gives them a lot of work for the next year.
Okay. I don't see any more questions. So we are coming to the end of the workshop, more or less on time. So we are respecting the time frames. Thank you once again very much for having shared with the audience and with us all these impressive cases. I hope that everyone has learned a bit from your experience and that things start changing at their own organizations. Just before we end, I will share again my presenting.
So I added my email address. If you have any further questions or you need help convincing someone about the way innovation project I really am willing to help. So you can contact me by email.
The same for me. Thank you, team, for your interesting presentation. And I also would like to share some experience or knowledge. If you have any questions, also the same as for team, please contact one of us.
Okay, so thank you very much to both of you. We will share now on the chat and also by email a survey about the workshop, so participants can give your feedbacks. It's very valuable feedback to know your opinion about the workshop and to improve for following ones. So here you have the QR code, so you can scan it and complete the survey. It will only take you a couple of minutes. It's a short survey, and yeah.
Thank you very much to everyone for having participated in this workshop. Follow us, use the QR code to bring your feedback about the quality of this webinar, and hope to see you soon in our next events. Thank you for everyone, especially to our speakers. Have a good summer.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much for organizers and also for Ivo and Anita. Thank you so much. Participants for being active and answering Slido questions. It was wonderful to work with you today.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.